Christmas already. Christmas is coming. Christmas is coming. Don't forget all of your stoner friends. Christmas is coming. It's time to start looking at some glass pipes. It's time to look for grinders. You want to make sure that you get some beans and all the stuff together. All those stocking stuffers, man. We are less than half a year away from Christmas, so let's get it on. Welcome to the Late Sesh. What is fucking going on, everybody? Cheers.
Now are we talking about Christmas?
Stressed out, man.
Playoffs. We talk
Now
about the playoffs.
that fucking Skilbo has got us all anxious about gifting for Christmas.
Yeah, good grief.
I know. I felt bad for the kids going back to school that they only had like 2 weeks off and just summer vacation, and there was already commercials and stuff being shown for back to school, and Skilbo's already
got Halloween costumes.
Christmas. Now what?
Jeez.
I mean,
handmade gifts for everyone.
Soap. It's a cheap gift.
So, I like soaps.
I like soap too.
License plate.
Surprisingly.
Anna's original.
About
License plate. What the fuck? Are you working for the state now, homie?
We're
Punching some shit out. You weren't really in St. Louis where you were on that weekend release shit. I know what's up.
Yeah. I was on the chain gang, bro.
I
couldn't
working
get off
on the chain.
It was
gross.
Sound like they need
man.
man.
Cheers, chat. It's good to see everybody rolling in here. We're just getting started. I hope you guys can hang out for a little while and get high with us. You see Bake is trying to fucking smoke it out. If you guys have any questions, make sure you toss them in the chat, or we're just going to bullshit here and have a good time.
Yeah.
I don't get that. That was a good way.
Nothing after that. That's how we're getting it started. It's just leave them dangling out there, man.
I was going to say, we were just chatting about a strain that Painted Lady brought up called Three Queens, which is an interesting old one. And then we found it on CSI Humboldt.
CSI.
I was thinking like 5 minutes ago how great all of that stuff would have been for the actual show, and
we just bring it back up. We don't care. We'll just regurgitate it. It's new to them, guy. It's not new to us, but it's new to them.
Yeah.
Content.
Cheers, noob. Have you ever grown Three Queens?
Has anybody ever heard of Three Queens?
Yeah, has anybody else in chat heard of Three Queens? It was one of my favorite strains that the person that showed me how to grow introduced into my garden. It was GG4 and Three Queens and Nightmare OG. Those were the first three that we were growing, and all three of those were fire.
Nova Kush was a big deal for a while.
Yeah, this looks fire.
It was so pretty. It was bright green and just frosty AF.
OG Rascal was big back then. I remember that guy.
Yeah, this probably would have been like 2017, 2018.
I think that's a good point we can bring up is how yesterday's fire strains that everything got kissed with is now gone the way of the fucking dodo bird. Like, when is the last time one of the things we mentioned was pink panty droppers? When's the last time anybody's seen any of that, any of those whatsoever? How long has it been?
What do you mean? Because I think Humboldt uses that.
It's a terrible drink.
Red, I've seen you more as a Shirley Temple kind of guy, man.
Oh my god, it's a Cuba beer. So
Cuba Gooding Jr. beer,
like 2 packs of concentrated lemonade and a handle of vodka. It's in like a bag of ice. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible beverage. Oh my god,
right.
You don't taste the vodka. That's the worst part about it, or the beer.
Just the syrup, right?
Oh, dude, it's wild.
Well, there you go. But it's
I'll order the Arnold Palmer then.
The Arnold Palmer strain.
Yep.
But some things still stick around. Some things still make the cut. There's still ChemDog that gets pushed into things now and again. You don't really see any Northern Lights much anymore. That's kind of gone by the wayside. It's kind of in other things that get carried on into other things, which have been carried on into other things. But
I'm kind of surprised, but you see Blue Dream kicking around still. That's
very surprisingly, yeah.
That's why I'm always kind of a skeptic when people say, "Oh, I have this cross that's this and this." And it's like, is it really that and that? Is it just something that somebody? How far back did the keeping of these kept cuts go before it was just called something else, and then you got handed some other hype strain that was just somebody's bag seed? Like, I'm curious. I'm
What?
cautious, I should say, before I spend $200 on a pack of seeds. Now, 30, 40 bucks, $100, different story, depending on who's. But again, I mean, reputability is kind of huge rather than just saying, this dude on Instagram's got these, seeds.
Well,
What are they?
Let me take a crack at it this way. I'm not picking on a breeder, but they just come to mind would be like Canorado. So Canorado has like multiple, if you look at their, their listing of strains that they've had over the years, there are immense hundreds.
So many.
So
So what are you saying? You think they're not real?
But he doesn't sell his seeds that expensive. I mean, he's $100 a pack, $80 a pack of FEMs. It's not that bad, or $100 a pack of FEMs or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's just a different way of doing things. Whereas, like when I started, I was kind of into, misunderstanding things and thinking, here we go. This is my shout out to Jack Greenstock, that an F5 or an F6 or an F7 would be way better because it would breed truer. And, if I really want that, specific Moby Dick or whatever, that was my understanding at the time. Whereas nowadays it's more of a sprinkling and let's see what happens. And then we're going to work those lines from there with what's the winner.
Well, I think somebody like Canorado that has like variety to choose from, but in the end, I still think that there's reputability. Like he has backstories on sourcing a lot of his cuts and where they came from and things like that, to where you could. Same with the exotic genetics, Mike. His and Fletcher from Archive. There's a handful. Dudes from 2020. I'm sure they could backlog a handful of their genetics to true stock. To where at least you're getting good now. F1s is a crapshoot, right? You're throwing I don't know. I hear there's not a lot of variability in F1 stock. I hear it's good vigorous growth, it's decent, but the problem is you're getting a ton of different genetics. I mean,
expressions, yes.
How much research R&D is going into these, to check for herms and stuff. But I mean, at the price point, is it worth buying a couple packs and just hunting them yourself? I don't know, so, and then, like the dudes that are putting in the work and doing the F4s, F5s, they're really, really in line. They deserve $200-$300 for a pack. You know what I mean? All day, I think, that because they're going to get something that's been
usually they're doing both. So most time your breeders are line breeding a strain and making like a very stable variety of that strain, and then making F1s of that variety to get the vigor back into the plant, and then that way when you pick your phenotypes, they actually grow quickly and that sort of thing. So you can kind of have the best of both worlds by really dialing down and like if you like whatever, blueberry is a classic example. You have one particular breeder that really dialed in blueberry for a long time. And then you can take that blueberry and make crosses with that. And you end up with stuff like blueberry muffin. It's got real strong blueberry because it's been refined. And then, take it the next step.
Now, yeah, so say you take the blueberry that's been refined, but if you have, let's say, whatever's the muffin, let's say the muffin is refined though too. I think ultimately that's a good goal too. Is let's say you have two traits, but in two different plants. That's how you would get them into one plant.
That's what F1 is.
Essentially.
By definition, it's supposed to be two stable parents.
So
it's supposed to be two true lines of genetics.
If it started that way, sure.
So that way, the F1s that come out are split 50-50 of, you're going to get one that leans this way, one that leans that way, and one that's in the middle.
Are we talking Punnett squares at 11:09 p.m.
Absolutely.
Eastern Standard Time? I think we are.
But see that, and that's the thing, Skilbo, because it's like, say you got an F20 of, and you're like, I'm looking for Northern Lights. Right. And you go and you search all the breeders, and this guy's the Northern Lights guy, and you go get an F20 he's been working on for 50 years, and you grow it, and you're like, that's It's not what I wanted.
That's not the real cut. What the fuck? This is some bullshit. This is y'all do this
Maybe you
wrong.
didn't.
This
Maybe
isn't what
you
I
weren't
do.
used to the right northern lights. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So it's like
Right.
there's that variable. So that's why it sucks
Well,
with the
and the
whole
plant
like
can change,
the
bro. Like if you
galaxy thing
hold
that got shut
something,
down.
if you hold something for a long time and you change a couple things in your garden, you will see expression changes in that plant too.
Oh yeah. Well,
The
that we were
flavor
just
can
talking about that at
change.
work. How it'd
Yeah.
be sweet when tissue culturing is cheap, so you can restore some genetics, or not worry about has this deteriorated through cloning,
Right.
and then just send it to the tissue culture and restore it. But
What?
yeah, the what I was gonna say earlier was the Phylos Galaxy thing was gonna be useful as hell for us growers and breeders.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that you would, or shit, anybody buying a pack of seeds, you could. Now it's after the fact, but you could grow it out, and at the very least, you could send that there. And if
And
it's
see
not
where it
near
lands.
Northern Lights on the Galaxy, you can
Right.
go on Instagram and be like, "Yo, this guy sold me this pack, and it's definitely not related to Northern
Right.
Lights."
Yep.
Right.
So
That's what my big thing is. Like, there's no way to actually like quantify that data. Like when somebody's just saying these are the names of the parents on the pack.
It's like Pokemon. You just got to fucking smoke them all. You got to catch them
Wow.
all, Red.
gotta
That's all.
smoke 'em all.
So
even
like,
back to when we
I
talked
also
before,
heard,
make sure
Just
you get
throw one
good
more.
reputation, good breeders that people have heard of, genetics people actually respect and buy. They're probably not lying about what they've got in those packages. Breeders that have just come up from nowhere that no one's ever heard of. They may be making up a few things. You never know.
Spartan, what were you going to add?
I was to say, then there's another wrinkle about it. You could have the legit cut of what ABC,
Whatever.
whatever the fuck you have, and grow it different than what the person you first smoked it from grew it, and it will have a different expression. So,
Yeah.
really, the people that are really like hardcore geneticists, or they're the ones that follow the genetic lines and stuff, to me, it seems like a pursuit and futility, because who cares? Just let me smoke it, and I'll tell you if I like it.
well, that's what happened with
Am I going to clone it or not? Is it good enough to keep?
that fire OG that was in that in that cross that was just listed there. They said like white fire OG, and then in parentheses it said fire OG. I'm pretty sure fire OG is just one of the like Tahoe OG, True
Kush.
OG,
Kush.
all those OG Kush just went around the country and had different phenotypic expressions because it landed at different places.
Thank you, Eric. His question was, has anyone heard of Masonic Seed Co? He crosses Wilson with a bunch of other strains. I've never heard of Wilson before, but it must be good.
That's kind of the classic breeder. Most of the small breeders, you'll see that where they have like a male plant that they like to use. In this case, Wilson, and then they'll cross that with a lot of the different strains or all of the hype stuff that comes out, and then you get to see. Another good example is maybe Irie, where he breeds a rise with a lot of different things. That's sort of the same thing. So if you've grown Wilson before and you like Wilson, maybe you want to grow Wilson and some other stuff, and that's what Masonic is doing there.
Well, I think that's what we all do when we buy packs. Is we're like, man, I really liked White Widow before, so I'm going to try this White Rhino because White Widow's half of it. And man, if I can find something along those lines, I'd be happy.
Right.
Yeah, so the Wilson was something from Oni he found, and I know that now he's friends with Oni. But I don't know, at least Ivory, I believe, is at least doing some more specific breeding than Masonic. Masonic walks around his backyard with his favorite male and shakes it.
Yeah.
So he's kind of more leans towards pollen chugger. However you want to breed
Open
is however you want to
pollination.
breed, but yeah, so it's he's got 1 million packs and he's only been out for like two years. So it's just F1 here, F1 there, but people say anything that Wilson touches washes good, so
something DJ Short told a group of us at one of those seminars was that the I don't know, health, genetic expressions, just all that stuff, like the viability of the filial generation, whatever it is, starts to fade off after like F6 or F7. He said once you get to like F8, like you start getting more mutants and like more just
Yeah.
different types of variety. Like it's not good to take your, you start getting inbreeding starts happening. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like think about like the issues with inbreeding.
Can we clarify one question on this sequence? I want to know if I'm trying to make an F7, is that 2 F6s make an F7 or is that something else? Okay.
Yeah, that would be technically, that's what that would be, because like a lot of times you'll see like what Ethos does, it's like a back cross 3 or something like that. That's where they'll go to a further generation and then back cross the original parents to get back to like towards those original traits. And that's a different sort of a thing. So to go down each generation, it has to be like F2 is 2 F1s, F3 is 2 F2s, etc.
Well, let's use Mac 1, for example. Now, in future breeding, I mean, that's a lovely smoke and everybody likes it, but not many people like to grow it. So in your crosses with that, you'd be trying to retain some of that Mac 1 shit, but you'd want it to grow differently and maybe not be such a nightmare in the leaf stripping shit, right?
Maybe for your Mac F2, you're looking for like a faster version that's got the same frost or something like that.
And that's how it's done.
But that's why when you're looking at seed packs, sometimes like you might have multiple varieties of the same seed line that come out like an F3 and then an F4 or something. People may prefer one generation or another because of the way the breeder selected the parents. Maybe the seeds from the F2 generation are cool. They prefer them for one reason or another.
What was that one that we had? Was it Garlic Storm? You have one version, I have another one. That's shout out to Sticky Drip and Spartan for sharing those with us.
And Medgrower did that, right, with his garlic, or not garlic, but his what was that he did?
The Primal Punch?
Yeah, Primal Punch. He did F1
and F2.
Yeah. So some people prefer some and some people prefer the other ones.
So I have a question. I had a cross green room. It's what is it? ACDC and Auto OTTO Auto 2 or something like that. But it's ACDC and Auto. So I get this cross. I'm guessing is an F1, right? So I'm guessing this green room is F1. I grow it out a couple years ago, and I grow a male and a female, right? Of this pack of seeds. What is the progeny of that? Is that an F2 at that point? Or is that dialed in the F1 at that point?
That would be 2.
So now I have F2. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you cross that plant times itself, like the next generation.
F2.
Well, then you would hunt those seeds,
right.
Find 2 F2s and smash them together.
One male, one
for an
female.
F3.
So what I have going on right now is I'm guessing a male. I have about probably 9 or 12 of them out there right now, all green rooms growing. I'm going to keep a male out of that. So would that be the F3 male?
So what will happen is you'll have your F2 male, right, from your F2 generation. Or is it F3 seed?
Okay, in the male right now is the F2 male, yes.
Right. So that will breed with your current plant and make F3s. But it'll also breed with your other females and make new seed lines that are F1s.
That are F1s.
Right.
So that F2 won't matter with the new ones. Okay.
Well, and the thing about those to me, Red, is that those may or may not contain CBD.
Right. Well,
they could
like
be all THC lines
that
too.
F1, well, that F1 could be what? The F1 would be like 1 and 3, right?
Well,
like,
thinking how it would be is that you would have, if you had your Punnett square, you would have THC, or CBD, or one or the other, and then which one would dominate on it and how it expresses itself. Some of those would be all THC.
Some of them would be all THC.
Yeah,
and
you would think.
Would be all CBD, and some of them would be 1-to-1s.
If you popped enough of them, yeah. That would be my thinking, but I'm a moron, so who knows?
That'd be my guess. Same as what's out there with the Granddaddy Green Room, Grape Ape Green Room, or whatever else, Blueberry Green Room, whatever else has been out there. I'm guessing there's high CBD, high THC. I've had good reviews on all those. People like the smoke. It's good smoke. The ones that I've grown out have been volunteers that have come out here, and I mean, I've liked the fragrance on them all. They've all done really, really good. I like what they smoke like. I'm a fan of them. Can I tell whether or not they have the CBD in them? I don't know. We'll see. I'll get them tested this year. See what's going on. Honestly, man, all my outdoors probably gonna get turned to hash anyway because it's gonna have seeds and shit in it.
Are you going to practice the
Get
press
large
this
goal.
winter? Is that what's coming up? Come on, Becca.
That'll end up
Has
turning
to.
into like bubble hash, and I'm actually gonna get a press to make some hash bricks, like actual.
Ooh, the old school kind, right?
Some like dry sift bricks,
Okay.
not touched with water or anything, and then I'll probably do some pressing. We're gonna
It's
get
all that hash porn that's been getting you, isn't it? Seeing
Yeah.
people break those open, like, ah,
If you talk to Jack Greenstock, he'll be having you put hash in your shoe and shit. So
you
you
walk around in it, baby.
I have these things now, so I gotta have something to smoke, dude. I mean, I just love smoking on this. It'd just be so much better to just puff on that all the time.
You ever make pocket hash, right? Where you just put it in your pocket? Who
Good.
told us about that? Was that old man?
Keith,
Yeah.
shoe hash. It was shoe hash.
Hash. Yeah.
Shoe hash is
that real?
a whole nother thing. That's Jack. I think.
That's
Y'all
what
remember the
It
pollen
was
presses
hash.
Yeah, I
that
had
you
one.
could
The
get
It's
different
called a
logos?
T-handle press.
Yeah, the T handle press, but
dude.
you could get different logos, so you could have like
You really got to
Like
look
a
coins.
at
brand
Yeah.
for your little hash
check your
pucks.
stash, man. The ones that are chrome plated will like flake off.
Okay.
Chip and shit. I had one, and I got my hash pucks, and I'm looking at my hash puck, and it's got glitter in it. I'm like, what the fuck? There's like
What?
chrome all up in my hash.
Oh no.
Fuck, every single hash puck I tried to eat.
Terrible.
I ended up looking at all my hash pucks. Every single one of them had little chrome bits all up in it. You wouldn't see it to the.
It was
you
the
know,
Goldschlager of fucking
like
hash.
really look at it. Oh, dude, it was there.
Oh my god. Woo.
Same
Not
with
like
those
you
little
haven't
cheap
eaten live
grinders,
before,
too.
right?
Hash-schlager.
Those
Delicious
cheap
little
grinders,
plates.
the ones that aren't anodized, the ones that are plated, those fucking the plating or even the
Yeah.
cheap aluminum chips off. You gotta watch it with that shit, man.
I came across one of those before, and I was surprised. And you'd never notice it because you go to an average smoke shop, and all those grinders are like $30. You don't
Right,
think they're cheap,
right.
but
Yep.
they actually are. You're getting some knockoff cheap ass
Yep.
thing, and eventually the plating comes off it.
That's
Fucking
good
plated.
aircraft grade aluminum in my
Yeah, dude.
joints.
It ain't anodized.
It ain't anodized, man.
Not at that point, no. It's already ground off.
Ground down.
So we have a new pet.
What came in this time?
Another chipmunk?
Nope.
A possum?
Canary.
Nope. He lives outside.
A wallaby?
A skunk.
Nope. I'm gonna show you.
A badger.
A bat?
Badger, 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 badger.
Badger,
Hear someone
badger.
growling out there.
Badger, badger, badger.
Socks won't save you with that, man.
Oh,
Oh, hey, buddy.
Cletus.
a leaf jumper.
Cletus?
Cletus, the baby leaf,
Horseshoe miner.
baby stick.
He's a baby
That's a walking stick,
Baby
yeah.
stick.
Oh.
Oh man, yesterday, was it yesterday, wasn't it? We
Yeah.
were out there on the deck just enjoying the views, and on his grill was this little tiny, and he's only like this big. It was this little tiny bug, and he came down, and he had his arms out and his antenna, and I was like, he looks
He was
like
like,
he
hey.
wants us to like pet him or something, and he's like, I think that's an assassin bug, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm not letting him touch me then. I was
Well,
gonna let him walk on me.
Couldn't you see the katanas?
I should know. So it's really small. It's only like this big. So
It does
Sequence.
look like
Call it,
that's-
it's-
Are you gonna get it neutered?
Listen to that big spike on its mouth, though.
no,
The spike.
it
Yeah,
Yeah,
wasn't.
the assassin
responsible.
bike has like this thing that.
That's what fucks my leaves up, right?
Yeah, I didn't have that. He picture insected it, and it first said assassin bug, and then
Yep.
and then again it said possible like stick
Damn.
bug. So
I thought that was just some old makeup ass name, the assassin bug. I apologize, Sequence. I was ignorant.
It's a predator, dude. It's a predator.
Yeah,
bug.
Yeah.
Apparently
yeah.
so. With a name like that, I would hope they're not a
You can
pussy.
buy them from,
better get out
from
there in those
Arbico and
streets.
stuff.
That's a cannabis predator bug, Scobo.
oh yeah. So it's not, and today I was out there and I was making a joke. I was like, oh, I wonder where, because we named him. I named him yesterday, Cletus, and I was like, I miss Cletus. I wonder where he is. And then all of a sudden, on the table next to me, there he is going,
It's like, yo, you smoking? What's up?
oh my God. Yeah,
got
and I
5
blew
on it.
at him. Oh, yep. Then he hung out with us for a while on my orchid. And
Okay.
yep. So we have a new pet.
He's like fucking thirsty. He just wants a drink. He keeps asking, but he doesn't get shit.
Oh, no, he has
His turn on the grill.
Yeah.
And he had cups of water right there.
It's like when a kid finds a snake. We were like giving him stuff.
You want some chocolate, stick bug?
You like ice cream?
Do you like bologna sandwiches?
Chaga bar bigger than him.
Just drop it on him.
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's funny. He's so cute though. I mean, he's so tiny, and I don't know. He has cruising around on us, and then I put him down in the leaves part where he can get some food.
Do you guys still have lightning bugs outside?
Or bee food?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Spartan.
Dude,
I haven't seen as many.
I seen like 7 of them when I took the dog out. I was like, oh shit, I thought y'all were gone for the season.
I saw him last
Not
week.
too many. Not too many.
Where is Babe, and does she not know that her show is on? What the fuck?
She was on my lap when we started the show.
Oh yeah, she's been here.
That's why she's not noisy, is because Sequence is petting her all the time now. She doesn't need to vie for attention.
Yep.
So
She was missing him last week. That's for
Spoiled.
sure.
spoiled.
She is spoiled.
She's very spoiled, but we got to start her back on her RSO again because she's having some days where yesterday wasn't a great day for her. I could tell. So yeah, so start her back on her regimen.
Original raw
her
dog.
medicine.
You can dilute it into like some coconut oil or something. I know you were trying to give her real small doses, and she still wasn't pretty groggy from it.
Yeah,
so you have to dilute it in like some.
We're gonna
oil.
find a way to get her to take it too.
Right.
Just put it in that wet cat food. They'll eat anything if you fucking.
You
stick
can't
it
put
in.
it on a little meat.
Smells that shit out, and she will not touch it.
Really? Oh wow.
She doesn't. I ain't gonna eat the RSO, painted lady.
I
Getting on the
dang.
plane.
give her that tiny little glob.
You're gonna push your food at her, and she'll try to eat yours, and then you drug her, and then there
Gotta
you
get
go.
her some gold chains. Start wearing
If
around.
if A Team has taught us anything, it's the old switcheroo.
So I taught my dog to catch things. Like, if I'm gonna give you something, it's gonna be you need to catch it. So it's like a game. So there's no time for you to decide what's in it. So now I can ball up some bread around a pill, and just
For sure.
and he's just like a vacuum. It's
That's
gone.
a good idea.
He doesn't even know. But cats, you can't really do that because you don't toss
Right.
things to cats.
Right.
But yeah,
Dude, my cat
Yeah.
got
Reason why
outside
dogs
today,
are
man.
cooler.
My
Yeah.
fucking
yeah, yeah.
my contractors were doing the crown molding in the kitchen, finishing shit up, and they had
Oh,
the window
fancy.
open and they took the screen out. So
Uh-oh.
I was outside smoking, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Oh shit, there's a cat in my yard!" And then I was like, "Oh shit, that's my cat in my yard. What the fuck?" And then I went towards him, and he was like, "Yo!" And then my other cat was chilling in the fucking grass next to him. I'm like,
Oh no.
okay, hold on. Let me just scoop up Rick James and take him in the house first. And then I came back and got bougie and took him in the house. I got to talk to the fucking contractor. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Yeah.
we
that's
can't
not
be
cool.
like leaving my windows and shit open.
Why they
I
got the
know I don't live in
window
the city
open?
anymore because to get the crown molding where it has to go in one door, turn, then turn one more time, and it
Take
becomes
out the window and
yeah, you just take the screen out and send it through. But usually you have enough fucking common horse sense to close the fucking window after you've done such a thing. But apparently not today.
You can't walk it through the house.
well, that's
Bake,
what
they're
it's saying.
contractors. Bake, they're not trying to do anything more difficult than what has to be done. They're just trying to
Right.
Well,
me
when
out
you
for
let
all my little
cat out,
monies
now we
and
got
my
a
cats.
problem. My cat's out.
I see you'd be out there. You would be out there giving them the fucking blues, man. See, I'm more of a live
Oh,
and let
yeah.
live guy. You know, I'm like,
Because you can at least come to me and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna take that screen off your window. That cool?" I'd be like, "Yeah, just watch for the cat." But you
would
don't do
think.
it, and my cat's just out there. Psh, that's
I would have thought
Bobo
you
is
had
one of those
a tiger or
customers.
something outside.
You know what? All of my contractors, they're just like, damn, this motherfucker does nothing but sit around and smoke fucking weed all day and just fucking do
That's
nothing.
what I've been thinking too, Skilbo.
I've got it. Well, they don't. They assume that I have some other alter fucking life, but I don't. I'm just,
I feel like that's what my neighbors contractors always think.
Say, no, I am just sitting around smoking weed all day.
I am.
I keep getting offered jobs by my neighbors contractors. They look at my garden and they watch me out there like pulling weeds and fucking just doing basic landscape shit. Like, dude, you need some work? I'm like, I got too much. This was a few years ago. I haven't had that offer. I haven't had that offer in a couple of years. Might take him up on it nowadays. I need.
Bake doesn't even have a cat, and he's ready to cut somebody over.
I'm telling you,
teach you guys how to do some.
I wish
100% noob. 100.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense.
No.
You wouldn't, as a contractor, leave the front door open knowing that there's a little yappy dog or something
you would
around.
Think, right?
You would say, "Hey, can you put your dog in a room because we gotta open this door for a while, or something."
Unfortunately,
so like the etiquette didn't translate to cat etiquette, so that's just abysmal.
Some people just don't give a shit.
That's clearly it, painted lady.
There's the bottom line.
There's that, yeah.
Fuck those cats and fuck you. Right. Hey man.
Hey, whatever. I'm just glad you got the cat back, Skilbo.
That's right, man. Cat wranglers are us. I got them.
Yeah.
Do you have a cat named Bougie?
Bougie.
He
yeah.
said Rick
James.
And Rick James.
Bougie and Rick James. Yeah.
I love it.
Well done, dude.
Rick James is I don't know what he actually weighs, but he's a humongous fucking Maine Coon.
I've always wanted a Maine Coon. Well, I kind of have one. He's just fat.
Will Rick respond to just Rick?
Yes.
So you can be like, "Yo, Rick."
Yep.
I kind of want a cat named.
You can call him Rick. You can call him Rick James. You can call him Pretty Ricky. You can call him.
I would only use James when he's in trouble. Rick James, you get in here.
Super freak.
Yeah,
She's
man.
a super freak.
That'd be fun to put. Yeah, you could put that song on.
Rickalicious.
Yeah.
Rickalicious. Yeah.
Rickalicious.
Woo. That was back in the day. That was my jam. I put that on.
You want to go roller skating and shit now, right?
Roller skating.
I mean, we're going back to the day.
The four wheels.
This was pre-red.
Yeah, man.
This is pre-blades, man. Pre-blades.
Yeah, get out of here, you old timers.
You just had a board and you fucking had your mule.
I was here pre-blades. I was on this earth pre-rollerblades.
Rollerblades are the coolest.
I had roller skates. I was dragged to the skating rink against my will.
Dude, way back in the 1800s when I was a kid, they used to still have those fucking metal wheeled roller skates that like strapped to your shoes and shit. They were super noisy for people.
They call them quads.
I always hear somebody riding down the street.
You guys got to get with the modern times. They're called quads.
Quads. Oh, well. I'm not part of the Cool Blades crew. I don't know the terminology. I'm outside of the lingo, man.
Roller skaters wear quads.
Oh,
roller skaters, not bladers. Yeah, roller bladers are still blades, but the four pack.
Did you in fact have rollerblades?
I did. I had K2 backyard bobs.
I had K2 backyards.
Do you guys remember the one movie about rollerblades?
The one?
I remember a couple.
It got one movie that was famous for my generation.
Yeah.
And it was Brink.
I think I've heard of that one.
Fuck yeah, Brink.
Oh yeah, and there was the bad guy, and he didn't get any roles after that movie because he was typecast as like the bad guy from Brink. He's such a dick.
Well, they're like, how often do you really need to have a bad guy character that's good on blades? I mean, that's not much of a casting call for that.
Let me tell you,
you can't just write blades into the movie, man.
You see that movie, Blades of Glory?
Blades of Glory, that's ice. That's ice.
I'm imagining them on a fucking the racetrack, man.
I meant rollerblades.
I also had soaps baked. We talked about that on the Wake and Bake, I think.
These are my current
shoes with grind plates in them.
I remember those. I wish I had Heelys. I never got Heelys.
Those look like regular ass fucking.
I don't know. Wow. Those look regular, but the wheels look small.
Yeah, they look really small.
And the middle ones are really small. Why is that?
So that's for doing the handrails.
So you can do rails.
These are for concrete rails, any of that kind of stuff. They're just smaller for grinding.
Right on.
I was more about
anti-rockers. So, all right. So for any of those that know, here's a blast from the past.
Do they have light up heels?
Anybody in chat
My
recognize
light up
this?
shoes on. My light up shoes on.
Before he tells us what it is.
Yeah, dude. Back in the day, man, you could keep your stash in this Velcro pocket.
Yeah.
Stash pocket back here. Little secret pocket. This bag's from like 1996 or 1998. Still in.
Damn.
Pretty damn good. So kids would go.
That backpack still smells like Hawaiian Tropic.
Oh yeah.
That smells like weed.
Your blades would go in here and kick out the side.
You just got this bag so quickly.
Your blades go on your feet, right?
Yo.
Becca's like, you had this ready?
Red, did you have Oakley blades as well? The glass to go with it?
I did see,
that's gnarly, dude.
And your other one would
so that you can rep your blades.
Wow.
So you can rep your blades.
Well, that way people knew what
like,
blade gang you were in. Yeah, there's different gangs in the
Okay.
blade war skill, but these aren't skates like when you were doing it. These are blades. It's a little rougher out there.
You know what?
People throw pebbles in the road.
It's a little more aggressive.
I am a street skater from the 80s when boards were still wide.
Baked.
You ever get locked up
when the boards were wide, man, not when they turned into this like any which way but loose. The tail is the fucking nose is the nose,
you mean when
the
they
tail,
didn't?
And everything became a flippy trick, man.
Oh yeah,
we're all about the art
all
of
you
the
did was
grind,
stand on it back then.
The fucking handrail.
All you did was stand on it.
Yeah, but it was on the mean streets.
It was on the streets of fucking.
What are you talking about? Skating has been on the streets forever.
No, man.
Long after it became a regular skateboard, not those fat
now they make
things.
They make these special parks for it now. But back then, the fucking world was your park. You made your own goddamn park.
That's right. See.
Well, now you probably can't go anywhere and skate. But I'm talking like early 2000s, 90s. There were still skaters. Long before he's talking like
now
60s, 70s skateboards.
I'm talking about 80s, 90s, bro.
Back with the 2x4.
80s and 90s with a big fat skateboard. Let's look this up.
Look it up, man.
Let's look at the progression of a skateboard.
Type in. I'll give you one. You can type in
skateboard. You might be right.
You could go for a Sims or a Vision or.
That might be right. He was there. He lived it.
I did. Yeah. I mean.
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah, man.
These.
Watch my moves. Anything grows. Watch my moves.
Tony Hawk.
I feel like this is getting to the skinny one.
Here's the history.
Wait a minute. The first skinny deck was the first skinny deck was a deck called "Please Don't Eat My Friends," and it was a fucking Valeli board.
Please don't eat my friends.
Skateboarding was
it's a cartoon on the bottom of it. It's like it's worth a lot of money if you still have it. It's not all fucked up.
This one.
Yeah, it's got cartoon ducks and shit in a barn.
Yep.
Yeah.
There it is, bro. Blast from the past.
Yeah, and that's like the first popsicle stick style fucking deck that really caught on. Now, there may be some other ones, but cut me some fucking slack. I'm doing this high and it's late at night. And
dude, there's a serious.
You like that Spartan, didn't you?
There's like an industry crash that occurred around the rollerblading industry around the same time that Tony Hawk did the 900. Which is like 99, 2000, like that era. Tony Hawk did the 900. They came out with Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, 2, 3, and all those other games. For like a decade, skateboards became accessories, right? A lot of people like could not skate. They just had skateboards. Everybody had
those
skateboards.
are called posers, Red. Posers.
Whatever. Well, yeah. And Daily Bread magazine, that's what Senate went out of business. Daily Bread magazine went out of business. All the rollerblade companies went out of business. Rollerblading got kicked out of the X Games like 98, maybe like 2000, 2001 was like one of the last years that rollerblading was in the X Games. Not because of unpopularity, but because like skateboarding just became incredibly popular. Like it was way more popular than rollerblading. And rollerblading just fizzled out.
Do more tricks.
Skateboarding has had its ebbs and flows. It was popular in the 60s and then it died out. It was popular in the 70s, then it died out and it went underground. Then it was popular in the 80s, and then it went underground again. Then it came back in the 90s, and it's like every single time that it comes back, the new generation makes it their own and changes it and like incorporates new shit. I mean, it's hard for me now because when I just watch anybody do anything on it, I'm like, wow, on my best day, dude, on my best day, I'm not putting together a line like that.
Well,
I'm just
that's
keeping
what,
it real with you. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit, these guys are really fucking good.
that's what Sequence and I were talking about the other day, because we love to watch the X Games and that kind of stuff. It's the snowmobile, big air, and all that stuff back in the day. I was watching when that dude died and or whatever, you know.
I mean,
and,
my shins look like a fucking serrated knife on the front of them from taking so many shots with the board there, you know, trying to learn how to kickflip and shit way back when.
But the thing is when is there going to be a ceiling to what these guys do? Like, they already, like, the 900 was the big thing. Now it's going to be what, you know, and it's
no, they're doing like triple backflips on snowmobiles and shit. Like, it's
I
insane.
know.
I just like the next
on a snowmobile.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. They're doing crazy. Some dude just did a corkscrew on a BMX bike in a bowl like it was nothing. He was like, I'm just gonna do a corkscrew, double corkscrew on a BMX bike, and they're just like doing triple, just throwing their body because they have those foam pits to practice in now.
Right.
So whip the body in whatever.
That's true.
direction.
They do have the foam pits to fucking
Dude, yeah,
live dangerously and practice.
And then they just
Woodward-
have to have the balls to try it.
Is it called
Right.
Woodward?
You gotta land it, yeah.
Woodward East came out and like just expanded with massive foam pits and like huge vert ramps and shit. Woodward's, I think, in Pennsylvania. It was always like a dream destination as a kid. It's at Camp Woodward. I think it's called Woodward. I might just be thinking of Woodward in Michigan, but I'm pretty sure it's called Woodward. It's a skate park summer camp, and it goes all year round. There's indoor, outdoor, and it's just been expanding and getting bigger over the years. And
Oh, they've got Woodwards all over,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, there was a Woodward at
all
the
over.
Hard Rock in Mexico.
Yeah, Red, at our resort in Mexico, there's a Woodward skateboard camp.
Yeah, so that shit's fucking huge nowadays, and
It's all over.
yeah, dude. Yeah, so I mean,
Like
you can
Smash
practice.
is saying in
Yeah.
chat, Red, if you wanted to talk about the progression real quick,
Yeah.
this guy, Guy Curie, I think he's like 15 or 16 now. He did a 1080 last year in Best Trick. This year he did a 900 body varial in Best Trick.
What?
Skateboard. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Honestly,
That's
like
like some true Skate
years
3
old.
shit right there, bro. When you just fucking, you get so much fucking time and you get so much air that you could just do fucking crazy shit and have time to get it back underneath you and land it.
But while this is a topic, make sure you check out the Tony Hawk documentary. It goes over a lot of what we're talking about right now, like the whole era of skateboarding, you know, growing up through the ages and stuff.
If there's any old skateboard heads that are fucking in chat and you remember all the old videos, the old Powell videos and shit,
They're in
most
there.
of those are on YouTube and you can watch them. So like all
after
that
I
shit,
skated
search for Animal Chin,
A2s,
public
I
domain.
skated razors forever, right? And then I skated razors forever, and now the big
Scooters?
no. Razor was a rollerblade company before they were a scooter company, and I skated. Razors had a hard shell boot, and they were phenomenal skates. They had a nice fat sole. They slid really well. They had really good epoxy. Actually, I think they had like less surface area or something on their soles. They were really good skates. I ended up skating those for a really long time. Before one of my buddies, a couple of my buddies were sponsored. Don Bambrick, a few of those guys were sponsored by maybe Razor again. I don't know, a few of these other companies. I think they were sponsored, right? Yeah, there's Razor. So I was just skated Razor until I ended up skating these other random skates. They had this really weird one. They were
Listen to him back there. He sounds like pigeons,
Yeah,
bro.
he's going crazy. They're called Shadows. They were literally these little shoes. They were like little soft shoes, and they would just strap into what looked like snowboard bindings, and then they had wheels on the bottom. And they skated great. They would think they were really floppy, which they kind of were, but they skated really good. Those were really strange skates that I remember. And then I ended up picking up these, and I love these old Valo skates, which are another friend of ours that's sponsored through Valo. So we were able to get good discounts through all these skates. I haven't stopped rollerblading. Yeah. I mean, like the reason I can people are like, oh my god, how's Red have this shit that should be packed away? It's because this is like in my throat in the back of my trunk.
Red's been waiting for the day that Becca's like, hey, do you want to go rollerblading? He's like, oh.
Yeah,
You know,
honestly.
it's
I mean, I
if
just
you,
got busy in the last year, but I used to go rollerblading every Wednesday night, and I mean, I go rollerblading all the time. Go meet up
Keep
with
this boy
buddies.
away from handrails. He's
Red
gonna be
is
cold.
surrounded by
Oh,
a
yeah.
series of props. Like if you don't know, there's like he can just reach in any direction, and there's all kinds of like
mascot heads and shit.
bizarre curios
Been
and
cleaning.
It's a
curiosities.
museum in here. The backpack. I mean, I keep my rollerblades in my backpack. That's why the
Part of
backpack's
your go bag, bro.
Yeah, it's my go bag.
Let's
Who
go
doesn't
skate.
do
Let's
that?
go. Do they say let's go skate or do they say let's go blade?
Since the 90s, it's quality material, man. That's
Let's
the
go
shit
carve
back
it
in
up,
the
bro.
90s used to be
Let's go carve
quality.
it up, bro.
It was quality. That was $120 backpack back in the 90s, dude. The fuck was made out of good,
Did it have
good quality
speakers in it?
material. No,
They don't make them like that
I'm
anymore.
loving chat because some of us old skaters in there. See, Noob's talking about that Cadillac with the fins cut off for the board storage. Yeah, see, that's the search for Animal Chin. If you watch old corny ass skate movies,
Hell yeah,
that
Animal
would be
Chin.
that would be the one, man. Animal Chin was cool because it was all about the Powell Peralta skaters. So it would be like Tony Hawk and fucking Lance Mountain and Steve Caballero.
Of that
Yeah.
era.
Tony G, all those dudes, and they're trying to find this mythical fucking ramp. So they search all over, and it's this weird, campy ass slapstick fucking movie until they finally get to this ramp, which is kind of cool because Lance Mountain used to build all of the ramps and shit for these guys. When they used to have like all the street skating fucking like Tempe and shit, they would build just weird quarter pipes and stuff. So this first ramp was like a double ramp, and then it had a fucking hip to another ramp. So, that's cool shit, man, because you couldn't always skate in the rain, man, and in the wintertime. So what you do is fucking sit around and watch skate videos, maybe sneak off, smoke a joint until you could go to like some underground car structure because like the bank's closed, and now we can go hit that for, an hour before the cops run us off.
Yeah, we grew up in Michigan,
times.
man. All we did was watch skate videos in the wintertime and dream about being able to do it.
Right.
that's all we did. Smoke weed and between
Exactly.
like in my 20s, smoke weed and watch skate videos. That's all we did, and go skate. I mean, dude, we would go skate. We would go, sometimes during the day, but it would get like 10, 11 o'clock, and then we'd go skate. We'd go skate till like 2 in the morning. Sometimes we'd skate till like 4 in the morning because it'd be cool out. You're nice and cool out, and you go skate somewhere in a big parking lot.
Skates are bust.
I had keys and access to the local Westland skate park. One of my good friends actually got the city. He like went and proposed the idea to the city and went and through all the red tape that they had to go and got a whole bunch of he got the Tony Hawk Foundation, a bunch of things. And he got the Westland skate park, which was one of the first concrete skate parks in Michigan built. This is one of a few skate parks that was even around. And then you guys, if you know one of my other buddies who's in like Arcanica and does all of the Detroit Nuggets, and they do like the Bobo and stuff that Tara and Dank Mandangro over at Freedom Green. He actually is he's got the old Transition skate park that was one of the first skate parks in the area in like Southwest Michigan. It's called Line Skate Park. So if you're in Southwest Michigan, check out Line Skate Park. It's owned by Canafam, and I mean it's a really, really cool place and has some really cool history, with Transitions Ramp Park being one of the first and only bike parks. It was an incredibly dangerous place to be hanging out in. You go try to skate those ramps, there'd be bikes doing backflips over top of you and on top of you, and I've been almost beheaded by a couple of them a few times, and I used to go there with my bike, and I mean it's a wild place. It's pretty fun. IMYTA. I never did do IMYTA. Bitter Cold Showdown after IMYTA, kind of what that ended up turning into. And then my buddies took over Bitter Cold Showdown and ended up turning it into Delta City Open. I started DJing some of the old Bitter Cold Showdowns and shit towards the end, and it was kind of fun, man. There'd be thousands of rollerbladers from all over the world. Dudes from France, all these crazy dudes in Brink, like a lot of like all the dudes that were like the stunt rollerbladers in the movie Brink, they were there rollerblading, at these competitions and shit. It was really cool. Very, very fun time. And I still am still connect with a lot of those dudes. You know, we're still really good family. A lot of them are in cannabis. A lot of those guys are in the cannabis industry. I know a lot of rollerbladers. That actually, one of the owners of New Standards, professional rollerblader. It's pretty interesting.
Good times, man. That's that's the thing is like that's where I was introduced to fucking cannabis was through fucking the skateboarding scene, man. That was like, there you go. You want to fucking smoke? Go find a skater.
Yeah.
They won't have much, but they might share it with you. You know.
There was dude, and you know what's actually really cool is George, the owner of Modern Skate and Surf, might ring a bell to a lot of people because there's been about 3 or 4 skate parks throughout Michigan. The first one was actually in Ferndale, and it was incredibly small, dude. It probably had 1,000 square feet. This little tiny warehouse,
like a little
short
house.
ceilings, dude. If you hit the ramps too high, you were smacking your head in the rafters. Like, it was this really cool, grungy little place in Ferndale, and that was my first skate park I ever went to with my homie.
I built my own, Red. My dude lived in a house that was 100 years old. Fucking had an old garage. Shit, put a 3-foot mini ramp in there, man. Go ahead, steal an old parking block, set that shit up on top. Who needs a damn coping? We don't need nothing like that.
Always
had
had
parking block up on
in the driveway, dude. Daddy Red, shout out Daddy Red, man. He would all the time, man. He'd be off work making sure I'm not sawing my fingers off and shit like that because I'm out there cutting ramps
and shit. Yeah.
Well, new Dad, you got some more scrap wood? No. Well, can we go spend $100 and go make a new ramp? You know, and I had all the kids in the neighborhood like in my driveway, you know, no waiver. My dad was like, all these kids need a fucking waiver to break their necks. Learning to drop in on that shit, you know. It's fun, dude. It's a lot of fun. Throw kids some wheels on their feet. Skateboards, rollerblades, snowboards. It's been fun, man. I used to do all that shit. Skydiving, fucking
sing it, Red.
It's
the perfect time. Sing it.
I don't do that shit no more, dude. I fucked up my neck. Fucked up my neck. That sucks, man. I dove off a dock because I used to do all this dumb shit. You know, I got no problem diving off a dock. I used to dive in high school, so I went and like ran full blast off a dock into a sandbar and fucked myself up. So now I can't do anything. I can't go. I got fucking gnarliest whiplash. You know, it's always fucked up.
That's not whiplash at that point.
It's been 10 years, so it's like kind of like healed into like some whiplash.
It's healed into whiplash now. Okay, it's better now.
And I mean, if like okay, I had the option to go like what was it zip lining, and I am like I think that's too much. I don't think I can do that. I'm actually kind of weird about diving into water and stuff like that, but I can carry shit. I mean, I'm fine. I can run. I can do all my good stuff. But man, I'll still go rollerblading and shit like that. But for the last 10 years, rollerblading has been weird, man. It's been rough. It just wasn't the same. Not the same after you hurt yourself or injure yourself. You know, be careful with yourself.
Word.
Fragile.
Handle with care.
Yeah, seriously.
And then there's Spartan. Fuck that shit. Get up. Do something. Who cares?
Spartan would never dive into a sandbar. He doesn't play with water.
Yeah, Spartan.
There's a chance you could run into some fish in there, man.
I broke my foot jumping off a dock into water.
How far?
When I was younger.
That's the worst, dude.
Was it a huge drop?
Oh, dude.
That was the problem.
Yeah, how'd this happen?
That was the problem. I thought it was deeper than what it was, and it wasn't. It was shallow. So I jumped in and just smashed my feet on the bottom, and it hurt.
Oh, foot first?
Yeah, foot first. And it hurt, but it was in like cold water, so I don't know if that helped.
Probably should have if you would have belly flopped, you would have been fine.
Yeah.
But I just swam out. Into the.
Would have been fine.
Into the deep water, and I've won competitions doing belly flops. I'm not opposed to doing belly flops.
Oh really?
Did they have a belly flopping competition of Jackson?
You ever see the belly flop?
Was there a trophy?
I was just gonna say.
It's not a trophy. There was not a trophy. It was an impromptu competition.
Oh, it was a.
Isn't that how it always is? The real street belly flop competitions.
For me,
do it in the streets.
I don't know what it is for everybody.
Somebody looks at you wrong in the gas station. You say, Where's the nearest public pool, motherfucker?
No, it's more like
And you
someone
meet them at
challenged.
the pool. And
Do they
they
have
say,
a
I'm going to go to the top
Macarena
of that
contest?
fucking thing and jump off.
It's usually someone just underestimating me and challenging me, and I'm like, let's go.
Let's go. Bring
Yep.
it.
And I just win.
I mean,
Take
we
my
did see
parking
that
spot,
with the flight
belly
challenge,
flop.
didn't we?
How do you win a belly flop off?
You got to splash higher.
You
So
either
they're
have
usually
to-
judged by the audience, right? So you have
Mhm.
judges out of the audience.
What kind of wussy thing is that?
That way
A
it's fair.
belly flop
That way
competition
there's-
is either
that way there's no
duration,
influence.
so
there's no
you go
influence
tit
from
for
the
tat.
competitors.
Everybody keeps belly flop until
Dude,
somebody can't, or
Till
they have
somebody pukes.
internal bleeding.
Are you able to show the
Second.
belly flop competition on here, or is that?
Are you able to show it?
Dude, this shit is.
What do you mean?
Dude, they
Is this
jump
not
off of
safe
like
for
10
work?
meter. They jump off of like 10-meter dives.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's the
30
other
feet
type.
to a
The other
belly
type
in
is
like
you
10
out.
inches of dude, in like
height
10
the
inches of
guy.
water. There's like this much water, and they jump off at like a 10-meter
Yeah.
into a belly flop. In this, yes, dude, I'm dead fucking
Somebody
serious.
YouTube
nuts.
Somebody
I'm
Wow.
YouTubing. I'm
Fucking
YouTubing
insane. You'll
because
go down the craziest rabbit hole of your
It's
life.
5
belly.
times higher
What'd
than
you
people.
YouTube,
That's
Red? Belly
so
flop
crazy.
contest.
I
Record.
yeah, I
And they
guess.
probably just get a lifetime supply of glizzies or something.
These are all. These are.
Bring the
These are all.
glizzies into it.
These are all into pools.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
like 50 or 60 feet. It's
From
crazy.
like 50 feet
Oh
up.
shit!
Yes, dude. Yes, and into like 10.
Oh, no, way higher.
No, in
Way
like
higher.
Not
it's
it.
a little pool. It's
That's not it.
No,
That's what I'm saying. I don't
holy
know what
shit.
Red's talking
That's
about.
definitely
It's
not.
What in the
That's
fuck?
Wow.
not a belly flop. He wasn't even. He didn't even have his
Yeah,
belly
these
out.
are just like
Not
cadaver
belly
dives.
flop
These guys have no
Yeah.
diving technique. What is
No.
this?
These
Well,
are
I
just
don't
crap.
know.
Throw
What
your
did you
body off
see?
diving.
Belly flop. Why are you showing us garbage?
I put belly flop
Fail.
competition.
You're
Hey.
failing us.
Damn it, Baked.
Googling.
It didn't even say belly flop in the title.
Not
You
even
clicked it.
one.
Into it. I think
Look
it's.
what it says in the title. Look at the last part of the title.
No,
In
it's not-
parentheses, it says
It
not
says
a belly
be-
flop
It's not.
contest.
No,
It says belly flop right here. It's the
I
same
know, that-
thing.
it just
Look at the
says-
very top. Diving
Wow.
World Championship freestyle, not belly flop
That's
contest.
freestyle. This one's
And that's
belly
just-
flop.
And that's what you
Hey.
fucking clicked on.
Just
Oh
type
my
record instead of competition.
Look, these people are belly flopping. What do you mean record?
You're the worst.
You're the
29.
worst.
They got
you
better
go.
ugly quick.
Go
You're
look at-
some of the worst
Dude,
now.
belly flop into a tiny
Oh
pool.
my god!
See, that's what I should be searching for. Tiny pool. This guy's gonna go into a regular pool. I'm telling you. And he's taking way too long.
40
Wow,
feet up,
dude.
36
There
feet
you
up.
go. Dude,
He's gonna get
Oh,
the-
Professor.
this is it. This is
hook
it.
Yeah, Professor Splash. Yep.
Hold
Professor
on.
Splash. Tiny
It's gonna
pool.
be near the end of the video.
Look at the concentration.
It's coming.
Oh,
Make it
fear.
bigger.
Trepidation. He's going full
This
screen, baby.
guy.
Oh, that's a belly flop. Oh my
Oh
god!
my
That was a kid's
God.
kitty in snow.
Dude, what is it?
How high up was he?
In the ice cold.
That's nuts.
Fucking 30 degrees out.
What in the
Dude, that water's like concrete.
Okay.
Wow.
All of that's just to make fun of Red and Spartan for getting hurt jumping into lakes.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
I didn't
I
do the
wouldn't-
belly flop. I definitely didn't.
Well, had you done a belly flop, you wouldn't have broken anything.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my god. Yeah, my dad's right. My older one of my middle brother, my older brother, dove for Eastern Michigan University, right down the street from where I live.
Hopefully better than that.
When I was a kid. And actually,
better
it's
than
funny
that.
to dive as I dove in high school. I dove for like my freshman and sophomore year in high school. I went to regionals and almost went to states and shit had I not been incredibly under the weather and almost hit the diving board and a couple shit. So I lost some points. But
How
yeah,
was
dude,
your
I was a pretty
belly
decent diver in high school.
You took a shit.
I used to jump off the
In
I
the
used to jump
pool?
off like
Did
the
you get the
3
Paul
meter and
Pierce
shit.
treatment? Did you have to get wheeled off because you pooped yourself in the middle of a competition on the
No,
board?
no,
and they had to wheel
dude.
you
This
out
one
so you could
kid
go
did
change
smack
and
his
come back.
face. I've experienced.
What
I've
the
experienced
NBA
heck?
fans know
three
what
or
I'm
four
talking about.
people hit
There's
their
like
heads
6
on
people in
diving
here that knows
boards.
what you're talking about.
Just one
you
kid
one
at
of them? You
regionals
are, aren't you?
smacked
Is
his
it
Thank you.
confirmed that he
lost
shit
his
himself?
It is.
Oh
hit,
my
hit his
god.
face on the diving board, lost his tooth. His mom came screaming about anybody have any milk, and she was
Just trying to
not
soak
happy.
the tooth. Yeah.
Kids, yeah, the whole tooth was hanging out. Another
You
one,
know-
this kid did a backflip, smacked his face on the diving board. He had his whole fucking face fucked up for a while. He was on we were just at practicing.
Dude,
There
I
was
can
a time
circle
where I
the
was
wagons back all the way around to we're talking about old wheels and skateboarding and rocks and shit. Dude, they had just paved the fucking Kmart parking lot, right? Just it's asphalt, it's perfect. There's no lines on it. It's all taped off. It's like, holy shit, dude. I'm gonna fucking skate as fast as I fucking can on this, man. So I got one big push, two big push, and I had my foot going up for that third push, and there was a little teeny fucking pebble. And I fucking Supermaned off the front of that motherfucking board and ate asphalt and fucking snapped my shit right off in the front. Like, oh, bitch.
Oh,
Ain't no milk gonna save this motherfucker. So let's go to the dentist and get this taken care of. Toronto. But of course, you get like the dangling nerve and shit. So your first instinct is to fucking scream bloody murder, like, ah, and then you go. So good times when you're like 12 or 13, man.
my buddy hit his face on the coping, like
Oof, yeah,
mid-20s.
that'll
This is
fucking
just like 10 years ago. It just knocked his front tooth out, dude.
hash time.
Dude, we hung out in the what's it called? Fucking medical office for a minute waiting for him, dude. All they could do was just send him to a fucking dentist. You know what I mean? They couldn't do shit for him. That was fucked.
Eric, I just seen your comment. That's pretty good. Yeah, I think they take points off for each thing you leave behind in the pool.
It probably disqualifies.
That shit adds up quickly now. Don't think
You're
it
gonna
doesn't.
die from a really high distance to break them dingleberries off.
That happened one time when I was tubing. Not when I was tubing.
You were pooping?
No, I was in the water. No,
Wait.
laughing my ass off at my friend who was in the tube. It was a double tube. So we were pulling the tube, and it was two dudes in the tube, and they were the person driving was trying to get them off. So, you know, it was a crazy ride, and I was laughing so hard. And then they hit a big wake, and so their butts went boom. And then the next thing you know, I see the one guy scrambling out of the tube, and the other guy's laughing his ass off, and the other guy's, he shit himself. He shit himself.
The shitter critter, right?
Shit all in the tube, all in his suit. Oh my god!
Oh,
I mean, it's a natural enema.
I
Jesus
suppose.
Christ.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I'm gonna get out of here.
You've had enough. You're gonna
Yeah,
leave.
we
on
got a
that
busy
note.
day tomorrow, but I'll see
Hey,
y'all.
I appreciate you coming through, man. It always is a much more interesting conversation.
Yeah. Well, I didn't shit myself on a tube.
You got that going for you, if nothing else, buddy.
Yeah, maybe next time, you know. All right, see you guys. See you, chat.
man.
Peace out, babe.
I was smoking some fucking scissor hash from today. I was trimming up GG4, my first harvest since you got
That
back to
shit's
me.
gonna-
Only way to do it.
Ooh, that's gonna be nice.
Best part of trimming is the rewards afterwards.
You want to show off that pipe?
Oh yeah, I got this from. I think I still got a stick. Yeah, I do. Pipes by Joe. I met him at that one event. That Mason grew through. Pipes
okay.
by Joe. But yeah, it's twisty. His signature piece, I guess.
Green and white, man.
Yeah, when I saw green and white, it instantly caught my eye. I'm like, I gotta have that. Gotta have it. There's another one that I was gonna get. Was a big like a like a long Sherlock kind of. I was going back and forth between the two, and I ended up picking this one.
That's a cool one. I like it.
Thank you.
We were watching the last what I don't even remember what season number they're on now, but Blown Away has a new season on Netflix.
This is the glass blowers one, right?
Yeah.
We binged that pretty quick.
Yeah. It was really good. They're so talented. It's so neat to watch all that happen.
I didn't know there was one. How many are there? How many seasons are there?
Several, like 4 or 5, I think.
Are there really? The series is called Blown Away?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. This new season has a lot of very experienced glass artists, so it was a really interesting one to see all of their, because some of those guys have like a super developed like style, and the show kind of demands that you do different stuff, so it challenges those people a lot. It's good.
Did they happen to take footage for the show in time to get that most recent glass competition? They had that one guy who had like, speaking of the topic of extreme sports, he did like that vert pipe. He had like a vert pipe with like a bunch of skateboarders and shit on it.
No, that's a different competition, but this is like a show, so it's just only their artists that are on the show.
Oh, okay.
And knock out people as they go.
It's a competition show.
It's furnace work, glass blowing, so like traditional glass blowing with big furnaces. They're at Corning Glass in New York.
Oh, gotcha.
Ask if that's yeah. I haven't actually seen that, but I've watched a lot of the Corning stuff that's on YouTube, which is really cool. You can, I mean, they go live all the time. You can, you know, sit in and watch somebody work. It's really cool.
Yeah. It's really neat. And of course, you feel so bad for them when they've worked like for hours and hours and they're coming to the last final thing. And all they have to do is, what do they call it when they have to like detach it from the end of that like tube thing? And then like it breaks, or the person holding it that's supposed to catch it drops it or something. And then you're like,
have you ever been to you've been to the Meyer Gardens, right?
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So did you see the Chihuly glass in there?
Yeah.
All through. Oh my God, dude. I like had a moment because I've always been a huge glass head, even before I ever smoked fucking weed.
Yeah.
My great grandmother used to collect all kinds of shit. Like she was the one that had like the true crystal ball, the kind you had to keep covered or it would like light shit on fire if you like let the light hit through it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, when I seen all that Chihuly glasswork, it's just like that dude does some amazing shit.
Yep.
Colors, and it's just like
I wonder if
I was just walking through the cafeteria like, my God, this is fucking so cool. That was such a great place to go anyway.
Yeah. I want to go to the
I want to go back.
The Seattle. They had the Chihuly was it the museum?
Ooh.
Is it a museum or glass? It's like just basically a big presentation of all his work.
Well, I'm gonna be that's kind of cool. I gotta go out to Washington because I am going to be a grandpa again. So yeah, so I'm there. Yeah, I was waiting for everybody that in that family to be told and stuff, but I'm gonna go out there and hang out for like a week or so, and I'll be out there in Washington. So maybe I can head out that way too.
Yeah, it's getting contagious, man. Everybody's having babies.
At least it's not us, bro. We're retired from that game. I'm
okay
good
with grandbabies. I'm okay with grandbabies.
Grandbabies are okay, right?
Better wrap that shit up, Spartan.
Nice, Scobo, congrats.
Now, when you say wrap that shit up, that is a great callback to last fucking Monday's show. It was so fucking funny.
I don't remember what happened.
Spartan does. It's the wrap it up.
Wrap it up, B.
Wrap it up, Red.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
out of here.
I forgot. Well, I mean, I'm looking at the clock and I'm in charge of shutting it off. And I was like, fuck, man.
No,
He's gonna keep
you
going.
gotta drop the
going.
bomb on him, man.
Yeah. Wrap it up.
I don't know what I was talking about anyway. So.
It was all good.
Yeah.
We had a light leak. I had to fix it.
A light leak.
Yeah, you know, we took the plants out of here, set up a nursery out at the farm. So that was in the first room before going into the bloom room, which is another controlled environment room. But the problem is I haven't turned on lights in that room ever. So I've been blooming in there without any issues. And unbeknownst, I thought that the weather seal was fine in there, but it wasn't. I had to add one more little piece of weather seal because I started getting a little two of the plants closest to the door started just growing this crazy foxtail at the bottom. It was just this gnarly foxtail. Here's the funny thing is that like I kind of knew that there was a little crackle of light on the bottom there in the door, but I was like, is like you can't even like it's indirect to anything. It's just like a little bit of light, like it's not like the beam, the actual light isn't hitting anything. I'm like, nothing can even see it, you know, and I'm thinking nothing can see it. They fucking see it. I don't know how the light was going this way and the plant was over the fuck here. So I don't even know how that plant that like threw the foxtail and started to throw some balls. So I didn't get rid of the plant or anything. I just cut that part off and it's fine. It has been fine. It's been like 2 weeks. It's been fine. But yeah, man. Got a little light leak there. The issue started to show itself about week 4, week 5. So like, you know, I might have some citric Death Star backcross seeds. I ended up actually taking a little bit of the pollen on my finger and going back in the room and touching up on one of those Death Star buds, trying to see if I can get a little backcross seed action on it. See what happens with it. But
I want to say something about chat. Blue Kiss says, are some shows on a timer? The facial endings are interesting at times. And here's the thing. So many of the best endings for these shows gets cut off that you guys never get to fucking hear. I'll go back and try to see if it makes the replay, and it misses it by like 1 second. There is so many fucking other endings, man. It's like
Yeah,
we got to tease them like that. It's good. Well, now they're all like jonesing for something they'll never experience.
So you make them stay until the full hour, baby. Never know where it's gonna go on.
I thought you were going to pull that other comment where Lucas was saying after going to the Denver Botanical Gardens and several times to the Fred Meyer Gardens, Fred Meyer's is far superior because of the artwork being top shelf.
Hey, when you walk in and you see all those faces and shit, like that stonework, or even just the lighting as you're going into the building, I'm like, damn, this place is something else. And I went in the wintertime, so I didn't even get to see all the outdoor statuary and all that cool shit. So I'm missing out on a good portion of the tour.
Yeah, you got to go back. I've always wanted to go back to both. Well, the Dow Gardens are beautiful too.
Where's that at? Same
that's
place?
Like Midland area, if I remember right.
Okay.
So, like, if I don't think Uncle Rick is here tonight, but it's like
no geography going. If he's here, he'll make his presence known. Trust me. Bring him back out.
Here-ish.
Okay. Here-ish.
So anyway, yeah, and that's beautiful too. And I've always wanted to go at different times of year just to see what it looks like. In fall, like I bet it looks beautiful in the fall. And then in springtime, we went kind of early in the season, so some of the things weren't in bloom yet. So it'd be neat to be able to go at different times, every few weeks or so to see what's in bloom and what has changed, because I bet it's just awesome.
It's cool they got all the birds in there that are like specific to some of those wild ass trees, like humongous jungle trees, which I can't give them any kind of justice. You just have to go stand underneath them and just be like wowed by them.
We have Michigan State's Arboretum over in Irish Hills by me. It's called Hidden Lake Gardens. It's at like US 12 and it's south of US 12 and M50. You'd think it'd be up in Lansing somewhere, but it's like 50 miles from Lansing. It's like
it's pretty big.
It's fucking huge, dude. Yeah, it's like I don't quote me on the number of acres.
Okay.
It's like 50 acres, 100 acres, something like that.
Definitely enough to get a decent tour on.
There's a big lake. There's tons and tons of old ass carnivorous and deciduous trees, forest areas. There's an indoor.
Did you say carnivorous trees?
Carnivorous
people eating trees. Those are the ones from the Wizard of Oz, aren't they? The ones that like reach out and grab you.
Coniferous. There.
Coniferous. Okay.
Which is really cool because they have them all tagged. All of them have cool little plaques on what they are. So like white pine, they'll have some ground cover. So what the ground cover is, they'll just have all kinds of stuff. It's very cool. Very, very nice laid out arboretum. And then there's nature trails and that whole thing that also exists with eco preserve. It's cool, man. It's open to the public.
They got a bridge walk. I'm looking at their website right now.
You're like,
very nice spot, man. It's just off US 12, just south of US 12, maybe 10 minutes south of US 12 and 50 area, something like that.
Cool.
It's a nice one.
What's the name of it one more time for anybody that didn't catch it?
Hidden Lake Garden.
Hidden Lake. Okay.
And then U of M has the Arboretum, of course, but they have the Matai Botanical Garden. Matthai, I think. Matthai Botanical Garden. It's on the
Yeah, I'm looking at that one right now. I'm like, dude, this kind of looks pretty fucking sweet, man.
They have a really cool cactus house. I actually went there one year and they had a bonsai exhibit that held one small specimen from like late 1700s or something. Like this fucking tree was like 200 or 300 years old. It was really fucking cool.
They have a peony collection, the Heathdale collection, Centennial Shrub collection, Drow Prairie. It's 123 acres. It was established in 1906.
Yeah,
it's in Washington Heights.
Where's that one? What's that one?
That's the Nichols Arboretum, also known locally as the Arb. Yeah.
The Arb. Yeah, that's huge. That's big. That the Huron, we go through that when we go on our rafting trips. We go right through the middle of the Arb right there. That was one of the spots I was suggesting for us to stop and take a toke break because you're in the middle of that Arb, which
that's kind of cool, man.
Yeah, they don't really fuck with you too much. Arb. It's actually a nice little spot, man. Going for a nice little walk, bike ride.
I've always like whenever I go to other states and shit, I'll go to a park. Usually you can get away from other people, go take a walk, burn one, go back and be on my merry way.
That's what's nice. Down there, you got the wildlife, the deer. Painted Lady, you might actually like this. The deer will just walk right up to you. They don't mind you at all. The squirrels and all kinds of shit. They're so used to people because there's so many people just packed throughout that Arb, most weekends and shit. It's right in the middle of campus, the hospital, basically U of M hospital, and then there's this little loop down, and it almost looks like it's going underneath the hospital, but it almost runs alongside, the river runs alongside the hospital right there. And there's Nikolai Arboretum, but that's not where the botanical garden, Matai Botanical Garden, is a good 5-10 miles outside of downtown Ann Arbor. And that's a really cool conservatory. It includes some of the cacti specimens are fucking this big around, dude. Those little fucking big bucket looking things, dude. They're so fucking big. There'd be 3 or 4 of them.
Conservatory on Belle Isle. It's fucking awesome too.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That's been there for fucking ever, dude. It's
as a PSA, there is so much cool shit to do in Michigan that you really should never be bored. I mean, I know you can sometimes get that way, but there's just so many different places and so many things to do here. Shout out, I would love to go back to Michigan State University's museum that they have. The Museum of Natural History and shit. That is a fucking collection from hell right there too, man.
Well, the new art museum is where they filmed Batman.
No, I didn't know that. No shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
That thing looks like a spaceship.
Yeah, it does.
Where's that at? Michigan State or Lansing?
Yeah, it's right on Grand River.
Right on the edge of campus. I think it is on campus still.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. I used to go to the DIA often.
Me too. Yeah.
I used to go to I went to Wayne State University for a couple years. That's when a couple of friends of mine went to what is it called? The School of Creative Studies or whatever the fuck it's called. CIS or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. And then that's right next to Wayne State. So there's just a ton of people down there. We go rollerblading down there. That's where it goes.
The blades are back.
All night rollerblading. And dude, we'd go rollerblade those fountains because it's all marble, all marble steps and shit like that at those fountains, and they're really slippery. So we'd go rollerblade the steps and the fountain over at the DIA downtown and just go the Natural History Museum is all waxed up probably from all of us used to go skate that all the time. Natural History Museum has a huge circular ledge that we would always go skate. We'd just hang out at the Natural History Museum for 6 hours, 7 hours. It's right across the street from the DIA. It's actually a really cool. Did I say Natural History? Detroit History Museum. It's a really cool museum inside.
Detroit Institute of Art.
Across the street from the Detroit Institute of Art. But the DIA was where it was the other spot. That was right across the street. DIA is an awesome building. That's beautiful. And I remember going there as a kid.
They've always had that crazy armor, Red. That armor has been up there for 40 years, man. Don't ever let it fucking.
Those fountains. Never
The
think
little,
I'd go there.
well, it always got me because they have these little suits of fucking armor, and then like you're a little kid, you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. Now as like a grown ass man, I'm like, this dude was like 5'2" in some armor. He sure did need that shit, man.
You know where there's some armor? The Masonic Temple. That's a
Don't get mixed up in there, Red. They'll have you out there in front of that owl making pledges and all kinds of other crazy shit, and don't fall for it, man.
Dude, I used to hang out, play. I spent every Thursday of my youth from like, I don't know, like September through like, I don't know, February or March or something, like maybe September through December. And then maybe at another time, my dad was a Mason. My dad is a Mason. He's a member of a Wolverine Lodge, or was a member of Wolverine and many other lodges. He's a Grand Master Mason right now.
Grand Poobah.
Yeah, and he goes and checks on other lodges and does the thing. And so as a kid, I used to kind of get dragged down to, my mom was at work. My mom worked midnight, so I had to go down and with my dad while he did lodge, and I'd be stuck in these rooms either by myself or with someone else's kids that, some other lodge members' kids that were sort of my age or something. We'd just go wander around the Masonic Temple because the only people that were in the Masonic Temple were the Masons, and they were all in meetings. So there was like one security guard that would work the desk, no cameras or anything, in this huge fucking building downtown Detroit. On like the third or the fifth floor, there's the Scottish Rite, and there's all knights in shining armor all throughout there. There's this one room, dude, and it's this huge replica of like a castle, get knighted, like the whole thing is in there. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. There's balcony seating and there's so many fucking theaters in this building, dude. There's a swimming pool up on like the 5th or the 7th floor. It's an Olympic-sized swimming pool. They were training lions for the Shrine Circus after the pool got drained. Some construction workers were in there, and the story goes, what I heard when I was a kid is he was high on acid and jumped into the empty pool and killed himself. And there was a couple other deaths that occurred in the pool. We'd run around in the basement and cause a ruckus. And I smoked some of my first cigarettes down in the Crystal Ballroom, which is like this huge ballroom, dude. It has this huge balcony, and we'd go sneak cigarettes down there and smoke cigarettes as like a 14-year-old kid. And I mean, there's no one around. Like, there's no smoking in the building. I think people were smoking downstairs, and I think it was, yes, definitely a smoking section downstairs. All the people afterwards would all go have their meetings down and do their stuff. Probably a bunch of stuff I can't talk about, so I won't. So they'd all have gatherings after their meetings.
I think you crossed that line a while ago, probably.
We get
yeah.
anything except the building. I don't know what the hell goes on. I wasn't allowed in those rooms, so I don't know what the hell goes on. All I know is we'd have some pizza and spirits after their fucking meeting. So whatever.
Spirits as in boo,
Sprite.
or spirits as in
Yeah,
like,
we'd
yo,
go kick
what the
bottle caps
fuck?
around. We'd go kick bottle caps around and shit,
Okay.
dude. It was super wild, man. Especially where it was, and in the middle of the 90s, late 90s and early 2000s, you go right down Temple Street, and it was just like a very desolate area, right on the Cass Corridor. Not a lot of infrastructure at the time, a lot of abandoned infrastructure because Detroit hadn't been bought back yet by the Illiches and everything else that's going on. And I mean, it just was in the, the Dan Gilberts and everything like that. That didn't exist at this time. And it was a pretty gnarly. You don't leave the building. You stayed inside the building, and even still, like, you kind of watched where you were going around in the building. Like, there's some dark tunnels in the back of the kitchen's fucking huge. We'd go play tag in the fucking commercial kitchen of the basement of this fucking grand ballroom and shit. And it was just pretty cool place to be a kid. That's
Whipping bottle caps at each other and shit.
Yeah,
keep it honest.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Turn the lights off and just start
throwing
throwing
hacky
things.
stacks and shit in the middle of this giant ballroom. Bouncy balls and shit. But Jack White actually owns the Masonic Temple now. I think his mom was one of the security guards. She was probably one of the ladies yelling at us to slow down or to get out of the.
That's not very punk rock
or some shit like that. And
isn't that where he just got married?
Possibly, quite possibly.
On stage when they played in Detroit.
That's fucking sweet. No, that's really cool.
He proposed to her and they got married on stage.
They always did the Phantom of the
Have you ever seen him in concert?
there.
Paint Lady?
No, that's one
Maybe
that, and I
not.
wanted to go to that show really bad, but we had been buying a lot of concert tickets, so I was like, next time. And now I'm like, damn it. That would have been the greatest to see him get married and everything at the Masonic Temple. So that is a great place to go.
It's a cool place for a show. Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. Now it's a really nice area.
I've been to a couple weddings at the Masonic Temple. It's pretty neat. And most of like those rooms, like I just go tour and wander up to the third floor. There's a gymnasium on like the third floor or something that's wide open. You can get on most floors. You can't get into the back rooms. Like there's elevators and then there's a stairwell. Most of the security will guide you into the elevators. The stairwells are usually roped off, but if you can get past those ropes and up a flight of stairs, you can get up the stairs.
Some super crack fucking security level going on there at the Masonic Temple. It sounds like, hey, now stay away from this velvet rope, you damn kids.
Like, I mean, if you tried to go see there, you're probably not going to get very far. I mean, there's probably cameras and shit all over that building now. You know, it's the Masons owned it. The Masons, bro. The Masons,
they know. They see all. They've got the eye and shit, man. Like they know what's up.
Dude, it really sucks, man. They lost the funding and they were going to sell the building. They were going to tear the building down. It was going to be demolished, man. And that thing has such crazy. It was built in the early 1900s or late 1800s. A really old building. And it's from like, I think 94 in the lodge. No, coming down the lodge, you can see it. There's a little American flag up on the lodge. That's the Masonic Temple.
Look at Spartan go.
No, but yeah, man, it was a wild little place to grow up, and all the little history that's in there, and just all the
different, how far he's come,
different like cultural histories that are in there, because every type of culture you could think of has. I mean, there's a Zion Lodge, which is like, I'm pretty sure, like, if I'm not mistaken, like
go Spartan go
stuff like that. Like it's very very
cool. I'm really liking that, man. That's
the Scottish Rite dudes will just straight be playing bagpipes and wearing kilts. Like it's very cool. And then there's the Shriners. That's like a different off-brand.
Funny hats and little cars.
They tons of charity work, tons of donations.
They do a lot of stuff for children's hospitals, so they definitely. You know.
So we had my dad had some guys that would like be Shriners and lodge members, and so like. They'd bring the little cars and the hats and all that shit to some of these.
So they were men of many hats?
Yeah, men of many hats.
It's like a hat on a hat?
Yeah, hat on a hat. The big funny one would be like they'd wear like the Grand Poobah hats.
The Grand Poobah hat with the I think that's called like the Fraternal Order of the Water Buffaloes from is what that was.
You know,
not the horns on it and shit for the big guy.
Not for their ceremonies.
The Grand Poobah.
All for fun, and yeah, they'd like make fun of it. And
the
stuff
big
like
kahuna.
That.
The big cheese.
It's interesting though, because there's a lot of there's a lot of old, conspiracy history and all that shit. But I mean, what it is, it's
skull and bones, right? Skull and bones.
There's a lot of what would you call like
they got Geronimo's skull red.
Order to their meetings. They're what is it? They're structured. There's a lot of structure to what they do, and then
ritual.
Yeah,
ceremony.
There's also a lot of law.
Rights.
And, there's law and a lot of other stuff. I'm sure Daddy Red could talk for hours on all of it, or
Red,
not.
Don't say anything else, Red. They're gonna come get you.
That's the thing.
Don't
he couldn't talk about any of it. He's definitely one to his code of oath for his brotherhood. You know what I mean? And it's a brotherhood. There's womanhoods and all that kind of stuff.
There's womanhoods, Robin Hoods, womanhoods,
boys
into hoods.
D-Malay for the kids. I didn't get into D-Malay. Some of the other guys' kids got into D-Malay, and they're Masons now and stuff. And I got some buddies that are Masons, and they went into it. I just don't have time for that. I'd probably get into it. I think that the history behind it's pretty cool. I don't know. Maybe they do one of the artifact like icon thing is the acacia. So I'm curious if one of the rituals might be back there taking some rhubark or something like that.
One of their symbolism is the the acorn, which is the symbol for the pineal gland and all that shit that comes into there.
So I mean, they're
jazz, man.
Maybe
some
not
hermetic order shit. Yeah,
maybe not hermetic. Oh, that's I can see that. The not so much today, but maybe back in the day, possibly DMT was used.
What is that dude's name? If you ever want to fucking read up or watch any videos on this shit and go deep down a hole, his name is Manly, MANLYP Hall, HALL. So okay, I mean, you can waste a lot of time on YouTube watching a lot of weird videos on. I mean, like we just did the belly flop contest, and I didn't wake up this morning thinking that by the time I lay my head down to sleep that I would see a true belly flop champion.
That's a true belly flop, man.
That's a true champion, dude. That was a child's pool with about fucking 8 inches of water in there at most.
Yeah, that was a neck breaking.
You know, that was like all on his face and shit, right? Like he was the pool.
I don't know, man. I scorpioned over in way deeper water than that. Way deeper water than that, dude.
Man.
Way
That's a fucking visual, bro.
lower dive. I was like maybe at tops 4 feet out of the water at best. Well, I might have jumped a few feet up. But.
Man, I was just nervous. Well, the river was really super low yesterday when we were kayaking. I was in a boat. I couldn't imagine diving into shallow water.
Dude.
I did a really excellent job of applying my sunscreen too. If you can see it. Oh, wait, let me get back here.
There.
I definitely see it.
What is that from?
And then it's completely white.
There
Did you wear
go.
a wetsuit?
A wetsuit.
No, I was wearing capri like leggings, like
culottes.
Oh yeah.
fucking like an idiot. And I sunscreen everything else, and then I forgot about the fact that part of my leg was going to be the only part showing in the kayak. Fail, and that was like 2 hours. So man, I'm so white. I think
of how bad we got burned on that first fucking float down that we did, man. That sun was like cloudy for a while, and then the sun came out.
Some people
and just
got really bad,
fucking
dude. Like
boom.
boil. Oh,
Well, people don't realize you can still get burned on a cloudy day.
Yeah,
those rays still penetrate no matter if there's clouds or not. So I learned that the hard way going to a water park when I was a child, because I went with a friend and her mom, and the friend's mom did not put sunscreen on me and then took us to the water park all day on a cloudy day.
Called you blisters.
My mom, I thought she was going to throat punch that chick. And I came home with blisters and everything, and oh man, not good, not cute. But yeah, so people, put your sunscreen on regardless. That fucking sun is no joke, man.
I lucked out, and they gave me just a little bit of melanin in my genetics.
It's that Maltese Falcon in you, bro. That's what it is.
No,
doesn't matter. So
you see my back. This light makes me look really light, but my back is so dark this year. It's ridiculous. It's like I don't need sunscreen right now.
It's all that shirtless gardening you're doing out there is fucking.
It's been hot. Of course, I'm shirtless.
Yes,
I'm
I'll be wrong.
You know what it is? It's like the back in the day, it'd be like dudes that were roofers, and they would fucking all wear like cutoffs and shit, and then work boots. So when you'd see them, they would have like the white fucking calves. That shit would be great. And everywhere else is just like, wow, this dude.
You gotta get outside. You gotta get outside in like February.
Even that shit out, man.
Yeah, I just start. I haven't been burned yet this year. I've been burned like slightly. I haven't really peeled or anything like that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Yeah, you may not be getting burned anymore.
Oh, there's sun damage. I feel the sun damage.
Your skin.
Oh, I know. I feel the sun damage.
Causing cancer.
Yeah, with the chemicals.
I was just gonna say that I was gonna be like skin.
The sunblock is almost as bad. So
yeah,
I poison.
My hope is that
they just had to change the formula like literally a few years ago because it was causing cancer. The shit
putting
that was supposed to be stopping
putting
it.
cannabis oils on those blemishes and then eating a good diet. I think
Get that RSO in your game,
yeah,
man.
just keep fighting all
I
of
don't
this.
know about
Healthy.
just rubbing RSO. That'd be a good
Man, I'm
Damn.
telling you, when I was working
The
in
lady
restaurant,
would be all furry in like seconds.
I got burned so fucking bad one time that I really, really should have went to the hospital for it, but I didn't have health insurance at the time, so I was like, fuck it. So I was putting RSO on it and then lightly wrapping it. And
Oh, yeah.
son of a bitch, man, that shit not only healed faster, it didn't have a crazy scar.
Did
I
you put your
didn't feel-
RSO into a little coconut oil? It'd probably take it a lot further. That
It would have probably spread better, but you
Spread a
know, I
little
was
better,
like,
yeah.
fuck it, man. It'll
just
get on
straight
there.
RSO, huh? Just like
Yeah.
lobbing on there like a hot Jolly Rancher
Yep,
and
and
spread
just-
it around.
Jolly Ranchers.
I know, yeah.
Not to be confused with Skittles, which cause cancer too.
I believe it,
Bee
man.
farmers.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in building up that sun shield early on in the season, similar to like hardening off. You have to like harden off to it, just like the plants do, and then you build up those resistances.
What the
Umbrella.
fuck? There you go.
Yeah, and then when you get fried, then I got freckles from here down my arm. I have a T-shirt of freckles because I got burned. I got one good sunburn gave me a T-shirt of freckles. I get tons of sun damage. I know it. I definitely see it and have it happen. I don't want to.
I'm just trying not to look like a fucking purse.
Oh, I know that's totally.
Ooh, man.
That's what
Never look like the lady that owns the sun tanning business.
Yeah, I don't want
That's
to
too
look like
much.
that. I don't care about tans
Just
or
grow a
any of
beard.
that shit.
Just grow a beard.
Just throw your beard where you're getting the sun. Just cover it up.
Wait, you got to be careful because if you lay in the sun out there and that beard's going the wrong way, you're going to have
Yeah.
that virgin skin underneath there that's going to just
Yeah.
burn like a motherfucker.
Yeah, my neck is as white as my ass.
Like,
I wonder what Cletus is doing right now.
He's sleeping.
Maybe.
Or you think he's out there
Probably
dancing
got
in the
ate-
moonlight?
Probably
man?
got ate by something in the
Some
grass.
bats.
I knew you were
there.
going to say that. I knew that your negative goddamn ass was going to say he got eaten.
He came to a timely demise. It's the circle of
You know
life,
what?
painted lady. It's the circle.
Fucking A. Jesus Christ. Anybody
This is the
need
content
a
you stay up with.
negative,
Pug.
pessimistic opinion? Spartan Drone is your man.
Your man.
Whatever. I'm not throwing dead animals in my neighbor's yard and shit.
The bird bombing. Yeah.
I told her I did that too, by the way.
Did you?
Totally dry snitched on yourself. It's great.
I'm
You
sure
would've gotten
she's
away with it,
thank
too.
you and was really appreciative too. She's probably like, "Thank you so much."
She was like, "The great Top probably got it." And I was like, "Yeah, probably."
You'll never know.
Free
You'll
food.
never
See, you're
know.
saving money.
Right. Saved her money on cat food. Thanks.
Is that the cat that licks your face at night?
You're welcome.
Right?
Always
I don't
helping.
know. Anyway,
Anyway.
we're trying to figure out what we're going to pop next. I'm getting excited about the one and only indoor I'm going to be doing this fall for
I was gonna
just
say, you have so many seeds.
Okay.
Big
So
pro-
so are you going to just go with one strain just to try one thing and do a proper look at it? Or are you going to try 3 or 4 strains and then pick a couple of beans out of each one?
I don't know, man, because we have so many seeds and I want to do so many of them. And I only have, I mean, let's face it, I have limited time left
Sure.
here. So, and I can't, I'm not doing perpetual anymore with 2 rooms. So it's a full cycle,
It's a commitment.
start to finish. So I don't know, maybe like a couple different strains and see what happens. And then we're going to have to sex test, I think. Can go that route so we know exactly what we have. But yeah, it's exciting to try to figure out what we're going to run next, because now it really matters what we select. But I tell you one thing, it's going to be a sativa. I need a really good sativa, because a lot of the stuff we've been smoking lately has been like fucking knocking me out.
Yeah.
It needs to be like,
Sometimes you think about, are you chasing a
Tell you what,
flavor? or an effect?
If you're interested, I've got. I mean, I haven't grown them out yet, other than they're in the breeding tent. But I've got clones of 2 vortex females that I can grow up, and once I get them up to a clone size, I can get you a clone of those, and that's the most sativa I've ever
Really?
encountered. High,
Cool.
yeah.
Oh,
But I
Yeah.
don't know. I haven't smoked these ones. I don't know if it's the same. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
I can definitely get you a clone if you're interested.
Okay. Yeah, hell yeah. Or, I don't know. It's just been my thing lately. Over the past few years, I just like to smoke that in the morning, and it gets me going and makes me
Sure.
want to do stuff. And
And nobody else is growing it.
Huh?
You know, I said, and nobody else is growing it. It's not like you can swap with one of us because we're already growing. You're like, oh, I can just get my sativa fix from, Spartan. He'll just toss me this, and I can swap him, this one for that
Right.
one. It's
Yeah.
not in the circle, so you're gonna have to find it, and then we can all pass it around after that.
Oh, I love them. All the Irie stuff that I grow is, man,
I'm surprised that there's nothing really sativa in those lines that you found.
Oh. It's all of it is sativa stuff, mostly.
All the Irie stuff, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's-
A lot
Lemon
of it.
Jeffrey is
Except for
one of
that
my
Afterglow.
faves. Afterglow is one of my faves. And yeah, all of his shit is.
Are you gonna bring a lemon Jeffrey out and try one because you know what you're gonna get?
I don't know. I only have 2 left, I think. I have 2
Ooh.
left. So I don't know. Probably not. Uh-oh. My cat's telling me it's time, apparently.
The time grows near.
What's the matter, Katie? Yeah, I don't know. Storm Shadow and Morning Dew. Hell yeah. I've grown. No, I
I'd
haven't
like to
grown
try
either
that
one of
Morning Dew.
those. I've grown. What did I grow the last? Double Dose was one of the last I grew, and
Jack Tripper was the other one.
Starstruck and Jack Tripper. Jack Tripper was the last round that I harvested not too long ago. So they should be ready pretty soon. Yep. But anyway, that's my shit. Sativa. I want to get stuff done. Get my house cleaned. I want to have motivation, and then at night I don't mind this kind of stuff. But I definitely like if I go back to like check the show to see what it cut off or whatever, and I see a clip or something, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm
high as fuck.
Speech pattern is so much slower at this time of night.
I am faded
after
right.
smoking for a while than it is normally during the day. Like on a work call in the morning, I do not sound like this, people. Not at all. So I don't know. Anyway, it's just kind of
Joplin
funny.
vibes.
Brett C here in chat's asking me how the Russell turned out. I liked the high. I didn't like the flavor, and I didn't like. Most importantly to me was the plant grew so leafy, and it was a lot of work to trim. So I'm not writing it off. I only popped a couple of seeds, but definitely not keeping that pheno. And it'll take another couple of those seeds for me to find something.
It's kind of funny. The guy with the really bushy beard had the plant that was really, really bushy too, after his namesake.
That's kind of funny.
I can't imagine what it would have been like outside. It's like, oh my god, it'd have been so much more leafy.
Ooh, dude. It's a one-timer outside.
Yeah.
Is that who the fuck is snoring? Whose dog is that?
That's mine, though. That's Quigley. Yeah. He is so loud.
Diamond has been snoring all night, but she isn't currently.
Not this time.
No.
Yeah, Mr. Quigley, he gets settled right in here, and he likes to smoke. So Boris, he'll sneeze and leave the room when I start to smoke. Quigley, he gets closer, and then zonks out.
Getting faded.
yeah. He's my shadow, man. He's always around me.
I did receive my 4x4 tent. I haven't cleared up the kitchen yet enough to be able to move the shit that's got to move so I can set the tent up. But the plants are large enough now to take decent clones to be able to hold that shit till next year, because I'm really, really happy with the way the Snow G like grows. It's got a really dankness to it, even in this, stage of veg. It doesn't look like it's going to be super leafy. It's got a nice bud to, ratio throughout the plant. It's not going to be, too many sites. Leaf to calyx ratio. There we go. Make me sound smarter. So it's looking pretty good. And the Girl Crush F2 as well is fucking crushing it. So some of the other ones, like the Smell of Success and the other one is called Something Good, both look nice, but that's going to have to be, let's see how they actually flower out and get an impression from there. I always like strong ones in veg though, like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to waste fucking extra weeks vegging some shit, which is going to set my cycle all the fucked up. And I just wanted something to just keep rolling.
And when you can smell them in veg too, that's usually a good sign too.
Good
like
indicator.
Yeah. At least to me, I like those usually. My Spartan glue was like the first one that I grew that was like that, where I was like, man, I'm smelling it already.
It's a good time to take those clones outside too, because you're not going to get much more time before they go into flower. It's August 2nd, man. You're probably between now and August 14th. Most varieties are going into flower, almost day one.
I just threw a Gorilla Glue out there. It was in a 1 gal, so it's probably about.
It's going to stretch.
It was only about 1.5 feet tall when I put it out there, so it's. I don't think it's
perfect. Yeah, finish it 4.
Yeah.
That's all I've been thinking. Do I got any moms I want to toss outside? Do I got any last bits of something? Now's the time if you want to toss something. You can still toss plants outside. People toss them out. They'll start.
I think I'm going to be harvesting autoflowers soon.
Veg, very much.
Right.
Autoflower, yeah.
Within a month, right?
We got 100 days. We got August, September, and all of October before harvest. 90 days. We got a good 90 days.
I'm saying my first harvest of them. I think I got two of the 4 at least are ready, and I think the other 2 are going to be ready within the next couple of weeks. So that's cool.
I'm going to put some yo-yos out on mine tomorrow.
You're going to need a lot of fucking yo-yos, lady.
Each branch or something to opposite branches to hold them together.
Some of them just need to be spread out a little bit. And I think, 2 main branches will do it pretty well.
Yeah.
And I can hang, that's the ones right by the fence. So I'm just going to hang it on the fence and
strip them down and go from there.
Oh, perfect. Having a fence there is perfect.
Yeah.
Something solid.
We'll see. But I've been inspecting them and stuff, and we'll see. They they have some of those curly leaves like we talked about, but not too bad yet. Not too bad.
Do you guys have
caterpillars?
I was going to say any late stage IPMs that you want to get in before flower flips over?
Organoshield for sure.
Okay.
That's what I was just going to say. I think I'm just going to go out there with that Organoshield and just spray everything down probably within the next couple of days. I'm going to look on the weather and make sure it's not going to rain. If it's going to rain soon, I'll wait till after it's done raining. Give me 2-3 days.
I think it's Wednesday and Thursday is predicted, if I remember seeing it. Unless it changed. May have changed by now, but
that'll really give us a growth spurt too. If it rains 2 days in a row like that, it's like,
yeah,
man, that would be great. We need it so bad.
It rained here for 20 minutes and then got just oppressively fucking humid, man. It was like breathing through a wet washcloth. Like, okay, I'm good.
The water company's sending me mail telling me to check my lines because I might have a leak.
Because you're using a lot of water to water your garden.
Yeah. Just in general, I power washed. My parents power washed my deck while I was out. While Becca and I went to the Smoky, went on a 10-day vacation when we were fucking gone. They power washed a big ass fucking deck, dude. I can't imagine how much water. And then when I got home, I did some power washing that needed to get touched up and finished up, and then did half of my driveway. And then washed my car. I've been using so much water. I used a ton of water in one day. You can see it on the chart. It's fucking crazy. There's 3 days where there's just a ton of water usage. And then so the other day I went out and I did make sure I'd tighten up all my lines, all my fittings, make sure there's no leaks. Everything's good. There's no leaks that I know of.
Under the building kind of shit,
Makes me want to check the side of my house to make sure that's off. Another spigot that I didn't check.
If the drywall is sagging in the garage, do not push on it with a fucking broom. Do not, bro.
Poke a little hole.
Highly recommend against such behavior.
Poke a little hole, and then it just gets bigger. What's that?
I was gonna say it won't be little for long.
It's gonna be a big, dirty, insulation-filled, fucking. Blah.
That's the room that's below the old reservoir they used to.
Yeah, that's already shaky
go,
as it is, my friend.
I'd go run out and I'd open up the door and I'd look in my garage and there would just be just waterfall coming down and whatever. Eventually, it just ended up being shit that, like, scrap wood and shit like that. I'd keep. It doesn't do that anymore because I don't use that reservoir. Stop filling up plants, dude. I've had times where I've like left the house and that shit was just running like most of the fucking day and just
wow. Like going down your driveway, water running. You know what I mean? Out into the street. Like, what the fuck
really
is
surprised
doing in
I
there?
never came home to that. I'm really surprised I never came home to that. Thankfully, have not. Knock on wood. Don't come on. And dude, if I leave the water running in my farm, I'll burn my pump out. That's my fear there. I don't want to fucking that motherfucker will just keep running. Burn. Fucking A, dude. That's I don't have to worry about the company finding me for using too much water.
Well, I mean, imagine if it was like an RO system that's just stuck on running. It's just constantly turning out RO. Like, oh no, dude, this is getting expensive.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason I don't use float valve.
So much wastewater
Because I'm just afraid that they'll fail and I'll just lose water anyway. But and if I forget about it and it runs over, at least I'm there to like shut it off. You know what I mean? I'm not away. A float valve fails and I can't get back to it.
Your backups have to have backups.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no kidding. I've been trying to think of a way to do that.
I mean, even you can just do old school shit where you can just get a cheap ass fucking camera so that you can physically point it at it, you know, like one of the Wi-Fi cameras and shit. Just point it at your res. I know it sounds dumb, but you literally could check it that way.
No, I was thinking about like using like a pool noodle and a steak and like getting this thing to like put it in there.
Some Rube Goldberg fucking contraption that's over engineered. And
yeah, and like a little like red piece of tape on top of the steaks, and you like see is like it's going down in the res. You know, you can like see if it overflows or what level it's at. You can do all kinds of stuff. We can do a sight glass.
It's all about the ping pong balls, right?
Piece of hose, but then you have leak points. You know, bulkheads and leak points. I hate fucking bulkheads.
Bulkheads are okay as long as you're not moving the fucking containers around all the time and putting stress on them.
They're just leak points. You know, they're fail points. Yeah. That's all. They're just fail points. They work, but they are fail points. That's all. So I was always trying to think of all of those things. But yeah, I like the camera idea. I do like that. And we're just being able to like. What's cool is with smartphone.
I mean, if not, you could get a baby monitor and set the baby monitor right next to the fucking res. So that way, when we hear the water cascading over the top of the edge of it, curling and crisping as it splashes on the floor, you'll get an alert to your phone that says,
"Yeah, they do make those
the
water
baby is crying."
They do make those little water alerts. If they sense this water, you put them on the floor, and it'll make an audible noise.
As long as, I don't want an audible noise because then it's going to alert.
Now it's going to attract neighbors, right?
I'm an hour away. You know, I need something to alert my phone. You know.
Well, I'm sure they probably have updated ones with phone.
Yeah,
like that.
That'd be the move to make. I'd be cool with that.
It's constant tinkering in the garden if you want it to be. You know what I mean? Not just the genetics. That's what we started with, but now we can get into like the hardware of growing.
Well, I was thinking about like using a toilet float setup. Yeah, I mean that's like a way better valve than a little fucking float valve. You know what I mean? That's a way better float valve. That sucker's got brass fittings and all kinds of fucking over-engineered plumbing pieces I could use. Really, it's simple technology. You know, it's just a float valve.
Now who is crying?
DOG's crying. I think he's in the bedroom.
Sniveling.
Crying. I don't know why. Probably on crying at Becca, yelling at her because she's probably fell asleep or something.
What'd you say, Spartan?
So he knows it's getting close to snuggle time with Red.
Ah,
I'm gonna go see if they might have to open the bed.
Telling you, animals they know what time it is. My cats know, even if they ate breakfast late, like say we got up late, like 3 hours, which never happens, but just say it did. And they ate late if it was 45 minutes before lunch, and then it was lunchtime, and they would want
they want it again.
Oh yeah, they would for sure. They would be meow meow.
Well, you got a
meow,
bunch of healthy
meow,
cats
meow,
running
meow.
through that house over there. There's no skinny ones over there.
They're so spoiled. They're so funny though. They're so funny. They make me laugh every day, and that's what's worth. That's what makes them worth it.
Yeah. Same thing. My dog.
Red, did you have to go tell him? You had to go tell him it was okay.
He's typing to you.
He's air traffic controlling me. He's telling me it's not okay to land yet. Wait 5 more minutes.
I didn't think it was
plane,
good.
and we'll.
I said I had to tell him because he's deaf. I had to mind him.
Because he's deaf. I just
I don't know how
to him.
Yeah, I don't like dog. Like I'm like pointing and shutting up, and lip.
This one, Red, it's the C. Put the C at him. Close your mouth.
It worked. He shut up. I motioned him to sleep at a different angle, and that seemed to help.
Not true, Aldi. My cats don't really sleep all that much. A little bit here and there, but
Do you get the 3 o'clock in the morning Zooms?
no.
No, they get that out in the backyard now.
Right. They're fucking sleeping peacefully now.
They probably do it downstairs, but they don't do it upstairs. So if they do it, I don't hear it. And that's fine. I know they're up in the middle of the night, but yeah, for the most part,
Up to
during
no
the day,
good, man.
out there outside. They love being outside, getting those animals. Just
hanging out under the
trying to see
street
what's
lamps,
next.
hanging out with the wrong crowd, bringing home strange animals to the household and setting them loose. Like, hey, come on, my mom said it's cool. You guys can come over. And then they just,
It's cat mafia just rubbing out all the other fucking animals.
You know what they're after now that I'm getting, which I'm really excited about, is all my butterflies are coming back to my butterfly bush and my milkweed. My monarch butterflies are back and everything. And this really cool yellow one the other day. And Diamond, even Diamond is like,
oh shit,
what's that? So they're all after all my butterflies every time they fly around. So now
all the cats are after the butterflies.
Yeah. You said you have a butterfly bush. Big purple one. That's
really big,
like crazy.
Really big purple one.
I walk up to it and there'll be like 4 or 5 monarchs on it, and you're like, "Holy shit!" I expected to see like 1, but not so many of them, man.
I planted a bunch of orange ones this year. I planted like 6 of them. It says it takes almost like 2 years for them to bloom. I'm like, damn, what the hell?
And milkweed are really good too.
We got 2 of those in my
swelling up. Yeah, they're thinking about opening up.
Yeah, mine haven't opened yet. Been thinking about it too.
Mine just did. My monarch is real happy. So I have more monarchs pretty soon.
You ever seen the little caterpillar that it is before it turns into a monarch butterfly?
Yeah, I just saw this not too long ago, and I can't remember exactly.
It's like super striped, but with the same colors as the monarch butterfly. It's like tiger striped, but with the white and the orange and the black. It's fucking cool. No, it's not a hornworm.
That was a hornworm.
No, because the monarchs only eat things like the nectar and stuff. They don't go after the
sugar water and shit.
I think Russ talking about tomato hornworm. Those things they'll screech when you stab them.
I think they turn into big moths or something. Joe will eat hornworms, so that's kind of cool. We have a lizard that'll eat hornworms, so that'll kind of knock out that life cycle, turn them suckers into poo.
Before we get up out of here, I do want to say thanks to everybody for hanging out with us right to the very end. We'll see where we actually get cut off tonight and see if it was worth the wait or not. It may be anticlimactic. You never know. It's just gotta wait and see. If you guys didn't get enough, make sure that you come back through Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Bro Show Live. And we would appreciate a thumbs up. If you're new here, think about subscribing. Other than that, it's been fun getting high.
See you all on Polarity Science. 10 p.m. on Thursday.
Got yourself there. Check out Prohibition hour before.